Hello, everybody. I'm talking to you from Daytona, where I'm here for the 500. My favorite race ever, I have to say, is Elio's last win in the 500. The reason I say that is because I've known Elio ever since he came to the U.S. And been through the ups and downs of his career with him. He's been in my studio every year, and I think I got to know him pretty well. Anyway, when he got let go by Penske, he was super upset about the whole situation, and over the course of a year, I could just see it eating him up. And, he would tell me every week, I'm open for business, I'm looking for a ride. And when I found out he was going to run for Shank, I was pretty happy for him. And then when he went out that first day in practice, I said to all of my friends, this guy is going to win the race this year. The reason I said that is because he was fast. The car looked great. You can kind of tell at Indy how guys are doing by how smooth the car looks, how effortless the lap looks, and get a pretty good feel of whether they're struggling to drive or not. If they're not struggling, they can make the car do whatever it wants, and generally that's a pretty good thing. So long story short, he goes out and wins. I had a great team of photographers there. We literally didn't miss a thing. When Michael Shank jumped on the wall for half a second, we had two different angles of it. Spent a lot of time with Shank, with Elio, with the team afterwards, shooting the celebration, all the weird stuff that happened, the Busch beer, the wreath, the whole deal. It was great. I was not surprised that he won, because he really he's one of the most determined drivers I've ever known, and I was super happy for him. So that's probably my number one IndyCar race in my career.
And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone.
Okay, what do I miss about kart? The number one thing that I miss about kart is three or four things. First, the car was great. The engines were great. Having four different OEMs all competing really put a lot of effort into the developing the engines. The package was great. They sounded fantastic. I think it was a really good formula for the OEMs to all compete against each other. And they made almost 1,000 horsepower, which was great. On top of that, you had two really great chassis manufacturers in Lola and Reynard, and you had Swift and Eagle, both of whom built competitive cars that probably could have won too in the right hands. I mean, I think the Swift won a few times. So that was really interesting and exciting. You had the tire war going on with Goodyear and Firestone, and then you had an amazing group of drivers that kind of spanned history from the 60s into the 2000s or even the 2010s. By the time they were retired, I mean, like I said, there's a few guys from that era that are still driving today, and Dixon probably being a good example. And it was just an amazing formula. The second thing that I really miss is the venues that we raced at. So the opportunity to go to Japan, to Australia, to Brazil, to Mexico, and I'm kind of lumping Champ Car in here too. England, Germany, Belgium, Holland, the three best cities in Canada. It was an amazing life to be out there traveling with kart and going to all these insane places, Australia. And the best thing was when you went, you'd show up there with 300 or 400 people you knew. And wherever you went in town, there was always friends, there were always people to hang with, there were always great recommendations on what to do and where to go, and a few really great parties. So that was another great thing about kart. But I think the best thing about kart was the atmosphere. which was very much, the word family is really overused, but the way I looked at it, it was like everybody was on the same team, and we were all pulling together for the same goal. And it was a great atmosphere to work with, because if we needed something, we always had somebody to go to. Like Billy Camphausen was a great example of a guy who gave us endless help as photographers. And as a result, we did better work because we had support from the series. And wherever we went, we were welcomed by the crews, the teams, the drivers, the series officials, and the track people. They all knew that we were trying to accomplish something, and they worked with us. And that's something that you see little hints of it now and then, but it's never really existed to that level. So that's what I loved about CARD. Finally, funny things. I don't have anything that I can tell you in public because I need to protect the names of the participants. And I'll just leave it at that. See you guys.
Audio Jungle.